Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Kathy and Mark doing our thing. What are we doing?
You know what we're doing?
What are we
We're
doing?
looking at the impressive amount of energy and commitment it takes to make a movie. This is actually a kind of movie that's very inspiring to me. We're talking about extremely unique dynamic.
Yeah, I feel the same way. No, I will just say
Mhm.
that we are champions of all kinds of movies, but low budget is kind of near and dear to our heart. Like if you can make a really interesting movie quickly on a low budget or ultra low budget, that you just have to sort of stand up and applaud because it's hard to do that,
Yeah.
and hard to make it compelling or try to go for something
Mhm.
that has some, has it's more than just kind of an average thing. And this is an interesting film because it's a film within a film within a film. It's sort of that ultimate meta vibe. It's that, but it's also a relationship between these two friends these two Asian guys who have been friends since childhood, since they were kids and babies, basically.
Yeah.
And they're also the writers and directors. Katherine Dudas is also another director. There's three directors, but the two main leads are also the writer directors. Three
That's right.
directors.
3 directors, 3 writers, 3 actors. No, there's more than 3
And
actors.
they shot it in 5 days. So it is like, okay, we're going to just cram out this, it's like a 73-minute movie, so it's not super long.
Yeah.
But just to do a feature length in 5 days and try to do this sort of confusing stoner comedy / buddy film.
Kind of Seth Rogen-ish, kind of, the thing I liked was that they're clearly been friends for a long time. They show a lot of footage of them as kids. And
Right.
it felt like almost like a TikTok, YouTube full-length movie. Like it was lots of quick cuts, lots of graphics, and like I love how the actor from Fresh Off the Boat would make like a cameo, and they'd put a big, "He's a cameo, the big actor,"
Right.
It's like, so they would always be
Hudson
like
Yang,
Hudson
okay.
Yang, and they'd show him make a big deal out of it. It was very funny. He'd basically walk in, say something, and leave. That was which was
Yeah.
very cute.
Yeah.
And they kept talking about we need to get a big star as a cameo. So I guess he was their cameo. And
Yeah.
I thought that was very cute.
It was.
It had a nice energy, and I love the meta quality of like, we're gonna make a movie, then we're gonna make a movie about making the movie about making the movie. Like it was this sort of like triple turned inside out kind of
Yeah, and the two characters, Ryan and Daniel, they're played by Ivan Loing, sorry, and Harrison Zhu. So those are the two main guys, and yeah, they smoke a lot of pot, and they're sort of going through like a life change. They just haven't made it in the business of making movies. So before one of them leaves, they say, "Hey, let's make a movie. Let's do this." So it's but it's also more like it's like their relationship is sort of the core of it. The movie within the movie within the movie is one thing, but it's also their relationship, how it sort of changes. Changes from when you're just like a toddler to when you grow up. Other things happen. You want to get married or you want to move and so it's just sort of it's a weird thing for a friend to say, yeah, this is things changing for me, and I'm not totally cool with that, or I'm cool with it. And so that's neat.
And it's sort of because they've been friends for so long. I love how they kind of delve into that little bit of relationship. Like we've been friends forever. We're always going to be friends. And then the dynamic, like you said, starts changing. Now one wants to move away. What's that going to do to their friendship? And let alone the complications that one of them is gay. And so, so he's not necessarily in love with him, but he doesn't feel safe telling him he's gay. He's afraid to change the friend dynamic on top of the fact that his friend is leaving. So he's like, he was in kind of a tight spot, and I loved that actor was great. Who was that?
Yeah, I think that's Ivan. But what I like about it is he can't really tell to him as himself, but he sort of tells it to him as one of the characters of the characters. So, as an actor in a movie, it's like, okay, you can sort of talk about it, but you could never as himself say it, so there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. I have to say, not all of it works, but I love that they're attempting to do this stuff. They're throwing a lot of things in. I can't imagine this movie cost more than $20,000 or $30,000 to make. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
And shooting it in 5 days and doing the script and acting and getting a cameo, getting a star and all that kind of stuff. Really difficult to do. So my hat's off to them for doing that.
And the fact that they were these big, movie fans, and they wanted to do this together. There's just something really unique about it. And I was watching and thinking, I've never seen anything quite like this. I mean, it was very unusual and bold, and I loved seeing the old clips of them as kids, because it really gave it you see the length of the friendship. And I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. And really, the Ivan was was to me, he was kind of a standout because he was so naturally funny and endearing. And I love where he
Right.
would keep going upside down in the exercise machine. He goes, "What? You only do that when you're upset." I thought that was very cute. And you feel like he probably really does do that when he's upset. I feel like I was kind of peek into their life. And at the
I
same time, it was
I
fun.
I think they probably said, what are the things that have happened to us in our lives, in our
Yeah.
real lives, that we can put into this movie?
Mhm.
And so it felt like real. It felt like,
Did.
yeah, they're playing characters, but they're sort of playing themselves,
Yeah.
playing a character or playing a character. And there's just a lot of stuff that's sort of like, oh, that's really smart. When you go to the crew is sort of, they're asking questions about the crew, and they're going, I don't know, we better call legal on that, or
Yeah.
this kind of stuff like that. It's just really, it's just smart. I think somebody who's a filmmaker who's been around sets will sort of, get some smiles out of it too, because it sort of hits some of those buttons,
Yeah, it really does.
you know.
And the fact that it was a comedy, but it also had a bit of a heart in it, because you're really kind of rooting for them. And I really didn't know what they would do, because I didn't want the guy to move. By the end of it, I'm like, don't move.
I know, I know,
Don't
but
do
that
it. You're gonna leave this guy alone. But
I,
that's part of growing up, is that things change
it's
and people
it's
move
like,
on.
yeah, he was really clinging on to his friend, where his friend was like, hey, I want to get married, I'm moving to Canada. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing, and that's what happens. We're not going to be joined at the hip for all our lives. We can still be friends. It's
Which I
just going
thought
to
was
change.
kind of mean to say that, because I feel like I don't feel like there should be a time limit on friendship. And so I think the other, Ivan's character, was like, "We'll always be friends, right?" And the guy's like, maybe. And you're like, "What do you mean maybe?" So my heart was kind of breaking for him a little bit.
I get it, but I think that is the reality of what happens in life.
It is.
Growing up with, I had friends. They said I'm going to be friends for life,
Yeah.
and then I haven't seen them in 50 years.
Think about
It's like,
those friends you had at their age.
right.
Uh,
I know.
Actually, I think you were one of my friends for that age.
Yeah, no, we were, but there were
Actually.
so many other people back in Atlanta that I have
Mhm.
not kept and we met in
That's right.
Atlanta.
That's right.
And I've not kept in contact with so many of those. You're one of the few, you and Burke.
Yeah. I know, it's funny. It's funny to think we've beat the odds. I guess we need to
The
make a
same
movie.
thing. Blah blah blah.
We need to make
Well, I will say
Oh,
that is it's also motivating to say, hey, if these guys can make a feature film for a
mhm.
low budget, why not do it
Do
ourselves?
it. Just do it. I know. So we have a poster, pretty cute poster too. I love this. It kind of gives you that first of all, the title's great. It's sort of like, let's just think of the most
Yeah,
active, powerful words for a movie title. And they're so not any of these things,
yeah,
right? Well, they're unique, I guess. But I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that, and I like this sort of hand tooled, like the handwriting over everyone. You have everyone's name written over their head, so we can keep them all. They're like, let's make sure you put our characters' names on the poster, and let's put our names big at the top, and you can see their
yeah.
contribution. So I even like all the little
Right,
clues, all the little drawings, like phones, and all of that. It's really cute. It's, a bong and whatever. It's like kind of funny.
right.
It's a
Yeah,
very cute poster, and it does really capture the vibe of the movie. This kind of like, homespun, authentic, fun movie that's trying really hard to do something that, is extremely unique and dynamic. It's not even, there's not even an and, it's just extremely unique dynamic. And so I'm
yeah,
thinking the dynamic of the friendship, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's the kind of movie like I don't expect to like, and you find out about it accidentally and you watch it and you go, this is amazing. This is really cool. Like, and I'll remember this movie because it was inspiring. And it'll
and
make
I
you, if
also,
you want to make a movie, watch this movie, and then you will make a movie.
yeah, and I would think these directors and the writers also, they have a future. I think they sort of found
Mhm.
themselves, and I'm interested to see what they do next, because it was fresh and fun, and just they went for it, and I appreciate that. So it's really worth checking out. And I don't think it's streaming yet. The release date actually is January 10th. So yeah, it is available to watch. So check out Extremely Unique Dynamic. It's
Dynamic.
all
Do it.
three.
It's fun. It's about filmmaking and movies and loving movies, and I love movies like that.
We love movies
We
like
love
that for
movies like
sure.
that.
Yeah. And thanks for it was fun to watch, and please
Yes.
check it out because support low budget films.
Support
Please.
films. Do it.
Absolutely.
Indies.
Okay.
Do it.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.